In this lesson now, we want to show a bit more of an advanced feature, which is it has to do with priority, how we can we prioritize the information that the report is shown. But it's actually great. It's we can just create one report and modify this priority, and it will give a whole new meaning to the data. So let's just show this. So, well, let's open the pad, of course. Here we have for report painter report, and we have create. So let's start create. Of course, let's enter our library, and well, now the ID for this third one, which is going to be like this. And well, let's just set a short description or short name for this, which is priority. Okay, let's start the creation. And well, there is another new thing here, because we will have two settings for the rows. We will ask for a group of cost elements, but also a group of cost centers. So let's double click row, and we will select both cost element and cost center. And for both of them, we will select the variable on off setting to select groups. So well, let's start with cost center, and we will select the first node of the standard hierarchy for the contouring area A000. And well, for cost elements, we will select again the ID it's 100 underscore CE, which holds primary costs. Okay, well, actually we can just also set a title, just a short description for the rows for the total. So again, using the icon that we have between confirm and cancel, let's just enter total. Copy short text to medium and long, and that's it. We can just check and confirm. Perfect. That is all that we need for the rows so far. So I before we continue and show like the creation of the columns, I just want to have a look at the settings for explode, because those are the ones that we can modify to have a, as we were saying, like a whole new meaning for the same report. So right now let's see the settings. So well, with the line selected there, edit, rows, explode, and well, as you can see, the first and like main difference is that we have two criteria here. One is for the cost center, one is for the cost element group. Okay, and what we want is just to select the correct way to expand this, and the priorities we will leave them as they are right now. So well, for cost center we will select expand, and for cost elements we will select single values. Okay, and well, now what we just want to double check again, it's a bit the priority, because well, as you can see now, the priority has that cost center has one, and cost element has two. So just to say it in a way, the priority will be a bit more, the focus will be more on the cost centers, and we'll analyze better the information for cost centers. So that is what we want right now. So let's just leave it as it is, the priority. We have the correct values there also for expand and single values now. And let's start. Well, again, the change is immediate, but let's define the column, first column, and well, we want the predefined key figure for actual costs. So yes, we'll start with just total actual costs in controlling area currency. This is fine. Let's just click change short, middle, and long texts with just actual. Okay, confirm, and again check and confirm. Let's do very similar to what we have done, a predefined key figure for total actual costs, but now for total planned costs for the second column in contouring area currency. We don't want yet to use this for the variable, so let's just set the version as fixed. Okay, and well, you know about the text. Let's just enter plan. Okay, copy short text and check and confirm. Perfect. Now, well, you know, the formula, really simple. So in the third column, formula, and let's just have the difference between like actual and plan. So that's it. Okay, variance. We will want the same text for all short, medium, and long text fields. And well, with that, now let's go for the general data selections. And there's going to be a key difference now because we won't have a cost center, as you can see. Why is that? Well, just because we have already selected that for or in the rows. So, well, let's now just select contouring area, fiscal year and period. And as we have done in the past, well, we'll have some fixed values here. So for contouring area, the one that we have been using, 8000. Then fiscal year just 2021, current year, and the period from 1 to 12. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. We can just check, confirm, and we can also check the whole report overall. So let's click the first icon on the left hand side. Perfect. And well, let's save. And now, well, to run this, we'll add this to a report group. So let's come here all the way to the top to environment. And using the assign report group, we will select, actually, we will create the new report group just like this. Of course, it does not exist, so yes, we want to create it right now. Perfect. Now we're all set. We are now ready. So I mean to run the report. So let's run this. And let's wait for it to compile and just show the parameter screen, which again for the time being will be just like empty. Okay, let's run. And well, as you can see, I mean, the main criteria that you should understand right now is that we have the individual values and like the individual amounts for each cost account. But the focus is a bit more on the cost centers because we can analyze the full cost of each cost center. We have those with the yellow lines, of course. But what's going to be like really interesting in the next steps will be just to change the priority and say like I don't care about the full amount of the cost center. I want to see, regardless of the cost center, I want to see the total of the I don't know, for example, the expenses of the water expenses, for example, which it's one of these individual cost accounts, for example. So let me show you how to do this. Let's just go back. Well, do you want to exit the report? Yes. And again, the only thing we will modify is the criteria for the explosion. And well, inside the criteria for the explosion, we will modify the priority as well. So, well, as you can see, we have so many, like all these cost accounts and these cost centers. But we will, again, as I was saying, just modify the criteria and the priority. So let's come here to edit rows explode. And we will have this inverse, like the inverse settings. So cost center, now we want single values as the explosion. And for the explosion of cost elements, we want expand. But then again, also this is really important. We will switch the priority. So cost center has priority 2, and a cost element has sort number just priority 1. Uh, we have to scroll all the way to the top to see now the new setting. So, okay, after we have changed this, we can just check no errors found. So we can just save and execute this again. The changes are considered and everything is compiled. And now, in the parameter screen, as has happened during these first reports, nothing comes up. That's fine. Let's just execute. And well, the change is completely noticeable just because now we don't have as the single values, we don't have the cost centers, sorry, the cost elements. We have now the cost centers, and in the yellow, which as you know is the subtotals or just well, at the bottom the total, we have the cost elements. So these individual blue lines are the cost centers, and the yellow lines are the subtotal for each cost element. So we are saying here what we can immediately evaluate is what is the total of the payroll expenses regardless of the cost center. And because we have the individual value, we can see that logistics is one of the most like expensive in regards of payroll. Also, well, the quality checks, for example, because they have the biggest payrolls. But the nice thing again is now the focus is a bit different. We are completely now transparent here, for example, in the plan on what are the costs, like the cost accounts that will hold the higher costs. And then we can say, okay, the components according to each cost center are the blue lines, and we can evaluate the data completely different as we did with the previous priority. So again, the nice thing is that we can have all of this just with one report, just modifying the criteria for the sorting. So well, now that we have seen this, let's just quit the report, and we will leave the settings as they are now, so we can just go back. And well, with this we will finish this lesson. Just thanking you all for all the attention that you have brought, and just inviting you to keep learning with the next ones.